So we are loaded and ready to go on another adventure. This one I get to have Jane along, and it's certainly a welcome change, partly because of safety. I'm going to be up on a roof again, and I love the company. So yeah, Buddy and Jane and myself. Okay, we have arrived. Beautiful day here. Buddy's happy to be out of the car. Sniffing. Yep. Hey, don't do that. It's like pretending to spray. Goof. We got snow in the hills. A little bit of ice on the puddles. But dead calm. Sun should come out here in a few minutes. Clouds are intermittent. Arrived at our piece of paradise. Today I need to get up on this roof and crimp those seams. You can see that behind me has the high ridge, 2-inch ridge on this roof. I need to crimp these together. I'll show you that tool. But first of all, in order to walk on that roof, I definitely need a harness system. So anyways, got to set up some safety precautions here and get to work. Figure if I put it up in this tree ways and a rope and then string it over the ridge cap of the roof, at least then I can tie in on the other side. I'm going to have to adjust the length of this rope though somehow, and I have to do that from the other side. There we go. Nice. Well, that worked well. So this is the tool I'm using, and I'll try to give you a close-up shot here of what I'm talking about. So this just grabs a hold of the roof like that, and you got to kind of make sure that everything's kind of set in its space, in its groove. And then if you just give it a bit of a push, you can see it folds that lip underneath there. And if you kind of walk your way up like this, and you just kind of work your way up the ridge or down or whatever. Oh, lost a strap on my pants. There you go. Yeah, so anyways, folds that over, gives it a nice little kind of seal and pinches everything together. And there's these brackets that screw to the top of the roof for the strapping, and it really clamps that all together, makes it all secure. So now I got to get my harness on and actually go do this in a systematic order and get it all done. Okay, well, I got my harness on. Now I have to figure out how to kind of rope in. I didn't really think about this too well to figure out. Anyways, I'll have to tie that in up there. I didn't really use or bring the right or wear the right shoes today either. Kind of sucks. Oh, yeah, and it's slippery. Good grief. Holy smokes. Oof. Good grief. I'm gonna have to sit on top of here. Okay. Well, good thing is I can do some of it from here. Very awkward. Very, very awkward. Oh boy, my hips are gonna hurt tonight. Well, that was at least successful for the first go round. I want to introduce a project here that is a new cabin, although it has been in process for a little while already. My mom and dad started this a while back, and as some of you may know, my dad passed away, and so this project has been on hold for a bit. And so Jane and I have decided we're gonna go for it. We're gonna put this together, and so the goal this year was to get at least the walls up and a little bit of a roof over top, just so that it doesn't deteriorate too poorly over the winter, and then we will hit her hard again next spring. So my dad had pre-built these walls, and they were piled up in the middle of the cabin floor and covered last winter, and getting them taken apart and kind of figuring out where each of them went. The front section was obvious, but the side walls took a little bit of
figuring out where he had intended them to go. But once we got that all kind of sorted, we started making some pretty good headway, made one little mistake along the way, and it started to come together actually really quickly. Had good help and Buddy on the side running around watching us, as always, the site foreman, and we got a lot done here. We had one incident, I guess you could call it, near miss. While we were putting this section of wall up, I definitely didn't communicate clearly enough, and we should have sat and thought this through a little bit better, because obviously moving this wall this way and having Jane stand there wasn't the greatest idea. And fortunately, she's very agile, athletic, and got out of the way in a hurry, but was a near miss. And sometimes I just get rolling along too fast and don't sit and think about it. So my bad, and chalk it up to experience, and we just have to be very aware of the potential risks and hazards around us, and thankful that nothing more serious happened. My dad's plan was to put a loft in the back half of this cabin, so we're going to need some floor joists, and the roof line is going to have to be fairly steep. In fact, I think I'm going to do a 12-12 pitch, give about 9 feet of headroom in the center, and that'll create a decent kind of a bedroom in the loft section, which will be above the one bedroom. There'll be 3 rooms really in the entire structure, and the main living area, living room, kitchen, and then there will be a separate bedroom and a bathroom. So very simple, but I have to get these floor joists in, and I decided I would go for it on this particular trip and get a roof structure, a temporary roof structure over the top as well.
Okay, progress update. So that is going to be a loft. So those are the floor joists for that loft. I have those tagged into the sides, like lag bolted in basically, there and there. Keep in mind I am kind of making this up as I go. I know a little bit, but I've never done this kind of construction project. So I'm sure some of you can, well, let me ask the question. You ever wanted to build, but too scared or don't think you know enough? That's me. So I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay, so what we're doing here is this is a protective measure from the elements and the weather. Just because I don't know when I can come back and get a bunch done. And if it happened to snow a foot or two, I would not be able to work on this very easily. So the idea is to put basically just a temporary roof on. And you'll see here I have some metal. I have a bunch of old roofing, and Chain's going to help me. We're going to make a run for it. It's going to be a long day, and we're going to be super tired, but this is the right answer for this is the solution to the problem. So here we go.
How can you get nicer gloves than I do?
We got the whole crew here. We got the foreman on site. You can have these.
How are you gonna get out of that stupid big thing?
Hold it steady.
I'm trying. It's not my fault you've gone weird on me.
I'm so thankful that this worked out as well as it did. Jane for the win. She put in a huge effort with me to get this done. And at least now we have a covering over the new cabin, mom and dad's cabin. And we are so excited that this has started. And we have obviously a lot of work ahead of us, but this was a good push just to get it to where it is now. And I feel good about the way it's sitting for the winter. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we have lots more going on, so stay tuned for more projects at the ranch. See you in the next one.